Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. So, wanted to talk today a little bit about plans for the tiny house. You guys may have caught one of my videos lately, me outside the tiny house discussing rain catchment, gutters, and eave troughs. So, that is in the part of the plans. And in that video, if you've seen it, I point out that we got some stuff in the way that has to be removed before we go ahead and do that. So, my current plan, if you guys have been following me, is I got a ton of work done in the back storage room. I got a nice setup for, hopefully nice setup for my new large battery bank that I'm saving up for. Now, once that happens, and I also get the flat panels started on the roof over here at the front of the tiny house, which is, the front is actually above the storage room, and once that's done and working, I will slowly continue adding solar along the entirety of the tiny house, right? So currently I got 4 panels up here at the back end of the tiny house, which is above the bathroom, and they work awesome, no complaints. So, though I need to move them for a couple of reasons, I'm switching to flat panels that glue directly to the, well, it's not glue, but they get fastened directly to the flat roof. And basically, when the racking that's holding them up there right currently is removed, that will, and the wiring is moved around, that will allow me to then have room for adding the eave trough gutter system. And I already have gutter guard, I have the first flush system, though I do need to buy the, some pieces for that. And then I also need to buy, I'm not going to have a standard downspout on this gutter system. My gutter system will be a smaller diameter. The gutter system will be a standard gutter system, but in the downspout, normally they have like a nice rectangle cut in and then they shove in a piece and whatever. That will be a lot smaller than average, because the goal is to have both sides of the tiny house, the whole length, covered in an eave trough on both sides, as high up as I can go, so just below the roof cap basically of the tiny house. That way gravity works for me. I just come down a couple inches and enter the tiny house with some plastic tubing or whatever, and then the plastic tubing will carry the water from the downspouts into my first flush system. The first flush system will do its thing, and then once the water is flushed, it will then carry it towards my IBC tote water containers, and before it enters those, I'm gonna reuse my. You guys remember I brought over my Pro Pure gravity-fed water filters that I kept. I think I'm gonna use those in some type of container, and I'm gonna put as many as I can of those in the container. And the reason for that is when the water starts pouring in from the first flush system, the more filters you have, the better, because the faster it will filter the incoming water. Though I'm concerned it may not be fast enough depending on the weather and how much water is actually coming in from the first flush system. But that's in the future, guys. We'll get to that step by step. So that's my little explanation on plans and how that's all going to happen. So first I got to save up for the battery bank, and none of that's going to happen this year, unfortunately, guys. It's going to be in the spring next year. It's just the way it is. I don't make a whole ton of money on YouTube. If I did, things would be moving faster. So anyway, when that happens, let's say I get my battery bank in, I get my flat solar panels up, everything's wired in back there. I then can put up the wind turbine that you guys have not seen for a while, nor have I, because I've been so busy. But that will be tied into the new battery bank as well. And I will have to raise some type of pole for the turbine to sit on. It'll sit on this side of the tiny house, so the entrance doorway. So behind the camera, it'll be on that side of the tiny house, preferably close to the battery bank, because you don't want the wires too long or it's not gonna be efficient. So that's the plan for that guy. And the other reason having it on this side of the tiny house is the morning sun comes around this way, so there's going to be no shadow once it hits about 11 o'clock noon. So there won't be a shadow of the turbine on my flat solar panels. In the morning I'll have a little shadow, but that's it. And then that will be done. And the turbine's going to go up, and on that same pole, I may want to do the that Wi-Fi antenna that you guys saw me messing with a while back. I may mount it to that pole as well once I find the right position and blah 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 and all that. So it's going to be dual purpose pole. Now you're going to say, well, didn't you just take the solar panels down because of height restrictions? I'm going to say yes. And and basically the reason I'm doing that is, you know, the turbine's going to go up and it's going to be there running. I want to know it's working and everything like that. And then if I have to move the trailer, I can, guys. It's easy. I disconnect some wiring in here for the turbine, remove the turbine from the pole, or just take the entire pole down off the side of the trailer and throw it inside here, and then off the tiny house goes. If we move eventually. I don't know if I'm ever going to move here. Land is impossible to come by where I'm at. I'm in the twilight zone over here, so I don't get it. Unless I'm a multimillionaire, I cannot get land. And I can't move, because then I won't have a job and be bankrupt and be totally off the grid. You guys will never see a video again, because I probably wouldn't be able to afford to keep doing this. So that's I'm kind of stuck, guys. So I'm working with what I got. I think I'm doing well. Okay.